really quiet. This is extraordinary. You can assign any CC number you want. It's just an amazing delay with so many flexible ways to use it. Hi, I'm Daniel Fisher, Director of Product Optimization here at Sweetwater Sound. And today I'm thrilled to show you the new Moogerfooger MF-104M Analog Delay with MIDI and tap tempo. And this comes from a long line of Moog delays and Moogerfooger pedals, and all of them are amazing, but people just revere the analog delays. It has a certain warmth, a certain way of blooming, and the feedback is amazing, and it just sounds so good when you rapidly change the delay time. This is something you can't always do in a digital delay because sometimes the signals get mixed up, whereas the analog delay, the signal stays perfect as you speed it up, slow it down. And it's a lot of fun for messing with pitch and other things. The MF-104M, though, is astounding in that it adds an LFO with 7 different wave shapes, including sine, triangle, ramp, saw, random, and smooth random. A smooth random you get to via MIDI. And you have control over these things, 5 of them, from control voltages in the back, including delay time, feedback amount, LFO mount, and LFO rate. But you can also use an expression pedal to control this. You can use MIDI CC numbers to control pretty much everything. And you can use MIDI clock to lock your delay time and your LFO rates. So it's an extraordinarily versatile pedal. And as you reach down and change something, that is now the new way that you control it. If you send a CC, that takes over. And I brought a very cool device, the Novation 0 SL Mark II, that can send different MIDI commands, and we're going to play with it that way. And I also brought an old thing here, my trusty theremin, because I kind of wanted to show the delay first with a classic sound, and this is a classic sound. Now that's dry, and I'll kick it in. This is a medium amount of delay with about a medium amount of feedback, no modulation. And definitely has that classic analog delay sound. And then I can go in and mess with it. Just a beautiful pedal. And it has a long mode and a short mode. If I go to long mode, I can get a really nice long delay. And then I can add some LFO to modulate the delay time. The end result is that I'll get a nice little chorus here. And I can make this very extreme. And very quickly you see that the delay is a complete instrument to itself. You can play a delay, and I often do. And having MIDI control and control voltage to this thing is just amazing. So for example, if I were to take a pedal and put it into delay time, now I can make a sound. So you can be playing guitar or keys, and you could have, if you wanted, 5 of these and control all 5 of the main knobs of this thing, which is very cool. I could also do the same thing with feedback. So that's that part. And I can use control voltages, and for this example, I'm going to use the control voltage from my theremin. So now what I'm doing is I'm not only controlling the pitch of the theremin, but I'm controlling how much feedback there is. So when I put my hand up to the antenna, we're going to get a lot of feedback. As I pull away, we can go to no feedback. very interesting. And of course, using something like the CP251, I can invert that and make it do the exact opposite. I can make it do whatever amounts I want. And so it's just an amazing delay with so many flexible ways to use it. And so now I'll show you a couple others. Okay, so now I'm plugging in the Little Phatty, and I'm going to show you what the delay sounds like that on that. Here's just a dry stock sound. And now with some delay, no modulation yet. Now I'm going to kick in the long switch and we're going to double the delay time. And there's a lot of overlap between the short and the long, so you can actually get pretty short in the long mode. And conversely, you can get pretty long in the short mode. And if you're using an arpeggiation, we'll kick something in here. And we'll speed it up a little bit. Okay, and now turn the delay on, and now I can tap against that. Maybe double it up. Nice long delay time. And then another thing you can do, which I haven't shown you really yet, is chorusing. So turn the ARP off, just hold a nice note. And now I'm going to take the LFO and slowly sweep the delay time just enough to give it some body. And you can use the standard triangle wave, or you can use some really crazy ones. Here's a square wave. And I'm going to simplify this. I'm going to turn off one of the oscillators and make the other one real simple. Get the resonance down, filter up. So here's just a very plain tone. And now I'm going to take this square wave and modulate the time. Or something like ramp or sawtooth, and so we're going to have a very quick pitch up and then a fall. Or more sample and hold. Now it's going to be random pitches. And if I make the mix completely wet, then you won't even hear the original signal. Definitely some wild stuff. Okay, so now I'm going to show you what you can do with MIDI continuous controller, or CC numbers. And I'm using the Novation 0 SL Mark II. It's basically just a MIDI controller with lots of knobs and sliders and buttons, and you can assign any CC number you want. But more important, it lets you write a label above each of the things, so when you move a knob, you can see what it is you're doing on the pedal, which is very helpful. So I have a plain little sound here. And so, for example, if I move, I've assigned this to mix. So if I put it all the way over here, I have no echo. If I put it over here, I have echo only, and I can blend it. I made this knob time. I made this knob feedback. And then I made this knob the LFO rate, so I can kick in the LFO, and here's LFO mount. Here's rate. And I made these buttons down here be all different shapes. So I have sine wave, triangle, square, I can do ramp and a sample and hold. But then there's one more that I wasn't able to show you before, and that is smooth. And so it's random values, but it's doing it kind of in a glide. Which can definitely be a little more musical. If you like that glide feature, they've even given you a CC number specifically to do a glide time. So you can go in and do that, which is really nice. So now as I'm moving the slider, it doesn't respond as quickly. It responds in a much smoother fashion. And I can do some other things as well. When you have an analog delay, when the longer you try and stretch the delay time on bucket brigade technology, you start getting artifacts, and so they have to close a filter to make sure that the clock noise doesn't get through. But Moog has allowed us to do a lot of really cool things with this box that are way beyond what you would expect from an analog delay. One of them is they let you use the filter that you're supposed to have for the short setting on the long setting, which means that even if you go to a long delay, you can press a button, and now all of a sudden have the brighter delay, the brighter echo than you normally would with a long delay time. And Moog has reported that you're getting over 1/3 of an octave more frequency response, which you can really tell, especially like I played a piano sound into this and was really pleased to hear how much the first echo sounded like a piano. And then there's the spillover mode. This is an amazing thing. So normally on a delay, when you turn it off, it's gone, right? If you hold this button, it goes orange, and now all of a sudden you have echoes. You can turn it off now. So you can hear that you can very easily jump in and out of delay mode, adding stuff to the delay, jump back out, play over it for a little while, jump back in, play with it again. Just a phenomenal pedal, and there's just so many other things in here. Another one is they allow you to make the delay much longer than should be allowed, what they're calling illegal values. And the reason they're illegal values is you start getting quirky little artifacts as you start pushing these poor bucket brigades longer and longer and longer. But you can do 2 times, 4 times, 8 times the normal delay time. So I'll get a little delay going here. And we'll kick it in. Now this is an extremely long delay time, but you can hear clock noise in the back. But it's kind of like, you know, sort of steampunk, you know, or circuit bending. If you can use those sounds to your advantage, you can, especially if you're doing some wild modulation. And now I'm back into normal range, and of course it's very quiet again. And as you probably noticed, this pedal is really quiet. This is extraordinarily quiet for an analog pedal. For those of you who are wondering, what does this sound like with guitar? I did 14 audio examples that you'll find on our website, sweetwater.com. Just go to the MF-104M page and try that out. I hope this answered some of your questions. My name is Daniel Fisher. Thank you very much for listening. If you have any further questions, please contact your Sweetwater sales engineer.